Greetings, brothers and sisters. For many years, as far as most of us can remember, harvest on Easter Monday has been a tradition at the Bryce United Church. It is indeed unfortunate for this, the second consecutive year, Easter Monday harvest celebrations will not be a part of the Bryce Calendar due to restrictions linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we will listen to members of the church recall their fondest memories of harvest past.
Harvest at Bryce. From when I was a child, every Easter Monday, we would come to Bryce for harvest. So it was a significant gathering for us because nothing else was happening in the community. And so having come back, we have been offering some new energy to the harvest experience at Bryce. There are people who you do not see for a while, for a whole year, but you can be sure that on Easter Monday, you are going to see them coming to Bryce to get their meal, to support our stalls, and just to have fellowship. There's a lady I think about now who, for the past few years, she's here every Easter Monday and she sits at the domino table and just spends the whole day. So the Bryce Harvest is really like a homecoming for us. It's celebrating our gifts and that we have gotten through God's help, but it is also a time of fellowship, a time when family and friends just come together, lime at Bryce, listen to some music, eat some food, and have some fun. This year with COVID-19, unfortunately we will not be able to meet again, but I am hoping that we can live on the memories of the past, and all things being equal, next year we'll be back out and we will make up for the 2 years that we have missed, and we will have a grand occasion at our harvest.
Why, me I tell you say Easter come again, This your time you do. The pandemic, how we are where, Jesus, massive Father. Can't believe Easter come again and we dey right here. So last year the same thing, Could even go harvest over church. I don't know what to make of this pandemic here, young woman. It a mash up business, man. Business a mash up. And see me there, me can't go look for Joyce. Because we dey on curfew. Is that? Curfew, we dey on Kobe put we under curfew. Anyway, though, I think I might go look for Joyce, because you must wonder how we not married yet. Mahasa, after we plan big splashment, See Kobe come, we have to put off a wedding for I don't want to have a wedding and those 10 with nobody there. That are just Joyce, no more come below the mother those come with the take 10 somebody. I want a big splashment with everybody, but it can't keep, Government say, I know so much I will be the one place. Mark you, all people have to keep big splashment, because any other splashment are with me or Joyce, one we now go today. For when they catch up in our age, people think about a funeral. So, when we have to go on, we want to be big, but I know that we are talking about a harvest, we are talking about. So, say, I think, now, I have to go look for Joyce, because she did by herself in the COVID time, and at Easter, she would end up and now go do our big cooking and something over church, But no cooking now go on. All them time they when they cook all the pork. Yes, last year before last, and them cooking big hog, and them me sell the big hog and them eat the hog. This year, hog in a pen can't cook. He must have glad this year say nobody can cook him. Me have to go look for Joyce though, but I can't take no taxi because the curfew. Alright, I know what we're going to do. I can ride my bicycle. Yes, man! Just remember how you ride, I'm going to ride my bicycle and I'm going to look for Joyce.
What I missed most about harvest is the family affair, that big family affair that I would look forward to during that time. Persons that you have never seen for a year, you are going to see them. You and your church family, you meet together, you celebrate, you eat, you drink. It's just that big thing. I missed it. I have nothing to look forward to for Easter Monday. All I'm going to do is stay home. So for me, I miss harvest greatly.
What I miss most about harvest is the togetherness. When we come together and as a team, because normally I would be the person to go out shopping and like on a Saturday, the Saturday before harvest, this would be my last shopping day. I would be out trying to get all the little things that I know I'm gonna need for Monday. And believe me, this one has really, really, really hit me really hard. Last year we didn't have any harvest, and this year again, no harvest. I really miss harvest. I love the cooking. I just love when we're in the kitchen and we make our jokes, and you know, things are not the same anymore. But you know, I know it's gonna come back because this too shall pass.
I see the old Bronx there. I have to take a ride off of this in one long time. Me no ride the old Bob Bronx, you know. Yeah, me things. Yeah, make dry silly. The machine looks so dirty. Oi! Oh God. Oh Jesus. Jesus, I look already, man.
To me, the harvest, without having the harvest this year, it's kind of a bother for me because it's something we always look forward to as a family thing. And this year, we don't have that. And not able to be around your friends and the family for the harvest in session. It is kind of difficult for most of us. So we look forward to the clearing up of this pandemic so the harvest can continue for next year.
Yes, my fond memory about harvest. You know, you have persons coming up on Easter Monday. We are always preparing for this day. And to know that this is our second year and no harvest, boy, it pains my heart, it really, and I know it pains other person's heart too, but we just have to abide by the protocols and everything, as the government said, stay at home, wear your mask and everything. I can remember years of harvest here, persons coming out from very early, the cooks, for example, Vivian and her team, they're here preparing meals, and by 11:30, 12, lunch is ready, the mannish water, curry goat, fried chicken, baked chicken, the pork, everything. The team from Sawmill with their ground provision, coconut, yam, plantain, banana, everything. And you know, various districts having their stalls. Oh my God, it's really hard for us to know that second year and no harvest, but God knows everything best. And we just have to work with the government and work with the protocols. And I think for next year, everything will be on tip-top shape by the help of God. Okay?
Good morning. Well, I'm here, one of the members of the Bryce United Church, and I miss harvest so much. At this time of the year, we always look forward to having our harvest, and it has always been a blessing to us. And we're gonna miss it this year so much that it's unbearable, but we have to cope with what is going on. And harvest was one of the most exciting time of our church year, where we meet friends and families, brothers and sisters, strangers, everybody come by yearly and supported us. They supported us a lot, and we're so appreciative of it. And for this year, we're gonna miss the excitement, the friends and families, but God is in control. Next year, I hope it will be different. Thank you.
I am Rona Thomas, born and bred at Bryce, and I have precious memories of harvest. We the children, when we know that his harvest is coming, we would save up our little monies, our little lunch money, or break money, because we wanted to buy the goodies at Bryce. Now, we as children look forward to marching up with our gifts. And one Mrs. Mitchell, a past teacher, she died long ago. She used to be in charge of the children's stall. And that Sunday evening she would come early and she would collect her names and she would write down the names of the items we bought. And you see that harvest celebration, the same day of harvest, she would read out every name. And because we knew that she had recorded our names, everybody tried to take something. So you would have a lot of children marching up with gifts because they wanted to hear their names. Now, on Harvest Day, as children, we would go around and buy our little goodies, and we would go out and play games. When I became older, a teenager, I still look forward to harvest, although I was not marching up, but I would give my gifts because by that time I was a member of the church. And I can remember Mrs. Russell. She was in charge of the Spring Ground Christina Shudley Mandeville stall. And oh my, her cakes, everybody crowding for Mrs. Russell cake. Precious soul. So when she died, I was put in charge of her stall. And I tried my best and I got the cooperation of the members in the group. And I can vividly remember Miss Edna Young. She was in charge of the sawmill stall, and she was right beside me. She has a daughter at Bryce now, Miss Pauline. So I can remember Miss Edna in charge of a stall, and I can remember the yam stall, the food stall, at the bottom of that school, Bryce School, the old school. Yam, all grown provisions. That time harvest was harvest, man. I can remember Mr. Norman Tomlinson would make a special effort to take his produce from his field and send it to Bryce. Then you have other ladies like Aunt Clara. She was in charge of a stall. And this lady from Silent Hill, I can't remember who. And then my mother, Mrs. Mildred Robinson, she was in charge of a stall. And you see that Saturday before harvest, she was busy baking. She would bake, just proud of her church and proud of her stall. She worked very hard. And all those ladies, they worked very hard for harvest. And they did what they were doing willingly. Now, the sermons on the harvest, the Sunday harvest, the sermons were very appropriate. And we were encouraged to work for the Lord and to give willingly. And right now, harvest now, this epidemic has taken away the thrill. Just last night I was singing, imagine, Easter Monday coming and no harvest. But I'm still giving my donation towards the harvest. I'm still interested in what will be done. And I was saying to a friend, I pray that after this epidemic, we will still go back to our harvest. Maybe it's not Easter Monday, but any day we feel appropriate. I hope the organizers will plan a big day for harvest when all the communities, the members there will come out. I always look forward to harvest. Harvest, especially the Easter Monday. And when we have our stalls in the schoolroom, and then we went down to the bottom and then we are outside. But harvest was special to me. I have precious memories. And then families would come down from Kingston, and most of them would come now to buy the food provisions. And many of them were looking for Miss Evan her cake. Happy days. But God knows best. This epidemic has taken over the whole world. But I'm encouraging the members of Bryce and the friends of Bryce still support the harvest. And I know Reverend Harriet is not so pleased to see what is happening. But because he's a Christian man, he knows that it is God's work, and we just have to wait on him. And let us have a prosperous harvest. Thank you.
Giants must glad to see me, you know. I've got to look for me, come on, no, you know. Tio. Bicycle thief, man.
This is the time of the year when everyone looks forward to come to Bryce. It is a tradition going backward from the establishment of Bryce. And Easter is the time that everybody wants to come to Bryce. Children, old people, people from abroad, people from the community. They always look forward to see what's happening at Bryce. The best produce that you can think of is always on display. And especially the lunch, you know, people always look forward and get the best and the most luxurious lunch at Bryce when they come on to harvest. And this is a time that we all look forward. And it is just unfortunate that, you know, for the past 2 years, through this corona virus attack and affect all the whole community, the world for that matter. Things has changed, but we at Bryce, we still continue to let things work as if we are normal, because everything has been going on at Bryce, and we look forward to see that the things continue. And then we have a minister there who tries his very best to see that things work the way that it usually. And we all look forward to see that Bryce continue in that tradition. Forward, all the members of the church that continue to do their part. The children, as we know how children are, they are very disappointed. You know that they come to look forward to march up with their gifts, whatever it is. But it's a tradition that we all look forward to. And it will continue. Virus or no virus, Bryce is a place that, you know, we want to have things happening there at all times. So we are very fortunate that we have members of the church, people of the community who come around and rally around us. So we have continue to have our harvest. And this year harvest, although it will be played through the virus, but we do not want things to discontinue. So we try our best in whatever innovation can be done to see that we don't forget the tradition. And we still get the cooperation from the public, and everybody comes around to see that Bryce continue to have our harvest. And we are glad that we are able to, with technology and so on, the assistance that we can get to continue and to show the community that we do not forget and we do not discontinue what the tradition and all the mission of the church to do. And we are happy that we have individuals can do the work and to carry on whatever is to be done. So we are happy and we are comfortable in continuing our work here as Bryce will continue to do our harvest. Harvest Festival is a thing that everyone looks forward to every year. And this year, although it is downplayed, but in a different way, we continue to see that we do not discontinue the tradition. And God has been good to us, that things has been going on good so far. And nothing, we continue to do our church worship every Sunday as usual. And the harvest is a thing that everybody looks forward to. And we continue to have it, and it will always continue. Virus or no virus, we continue to have our harvest. And we are thankful that we are able to put it on this year, although in a different format, but it will continue. And we are glad that we are able to do it.
Easter Monday was festivity.
Yeah.
We had the people from Lorimer's, headed by Clarence Williams and Claudius Morgan and Uriel Morgan and the Robinsons, Cleveland and Robinson. And we come around now to Lina Parish, where you have the Channers, who are in full support. And then you come up, cross up to Miss Claudette Robinson at Dump. And you have Lynn, Sister Nellie Lim at Dump. You have the Kings up at the top there, up at Colby. And you come around, you go to Silent Hill. And Silent Hill you had some of the I remember their names. But we had quite a few people from Silent Hill. And then we come up to Bryce, and we have Bryce, Tiki Tiki, Sawmill, Hanson Run, and where fellow Arthur down there, I don't remember what it called down there, Succeed. And all of us used to gather, and during the process, the districts would make their contributions. Some would always on top. But you always have the boys, the South brothers, who always carry their coconuts. And you had the now deceased Hyacinth Elliott, who was in charge of growing the provisions. And she with the girl Miller, what's her name? Valerie Miller, would do the ground provisions, corn and yam and bananas and plantains and that type of a thing. And going now from up the top there, it was festive. People, whole for people. At that time, we even used to have a little machine they used to peel the oranges. I think it's one of a little lady up front in the church there, Chambers, I think. I think she was in charge. Moving along, we came on to the harvest dinner. We used to call it lunch. People came in at different times. Of course, everything has changed now. But we used to have it people coming in and out from midday. You used to have it quite festive. And let me tell you some of the people them who, when we came, we had Mrs. Ruby Lynn. I don't know if you heard those names, Ruby Lynn, and you had the Russells, and they were in, and Mrs. Lisette McAdam, her picture is in the church there now. They were the ones who were in charge of the lunch stall, and I think you had people like Mrs. Norma Sinclair, who would do the mannish water, and Sister Cislin Lynn Vernon would assist in that area. And so from there, we would come to presentation of the funds. Well, yours truly was at time the financial secretary of the church, and I would receive the remittances, and then after a while came, I don't remember if it was Mr. Jimmy Thomas who took over from me, and then Martin Grant who took over lastly. But as far as I can remember, the harvest at Bryce was something noteworthy, something to talk about, something with festivity, something with some form of intelligence, you know. And I have a copy of the service that we had, the last recorded service of this nature that we have, which I suppose you can have a look at when it's time convenient to you. But harvest was something to talk about, man. It was enjoyable. Young and the middle-aged and the old, people passing through and people remembering that it is harvest at Bryce would come from Kingston, come from all about, because they remember harvest at Bryce. And they always speak about the good times they've had. Only that we don't have records of their comments, but they always commented satisfactorily of the achievements of Bryce. And so, in conclusion, I will say that we have come a far way, and the type of persons we had then, we don't have again, you know, persons who would deliberately set out to make harvest, you know. We don't have much of those anymore. And so we have to accept what we get now. But we are still going on. Harvest is still harvest. We are still blessed. The farmers are blessed. The contributors are blessed. Those who attend harvest are blessed. The contributions made are blessed. And we thank God that we are still existing in spite of the wicked, horrid disease.
Things that I enjoy most at harvest is the community coming together to get ground provision, fruits, fresh vegetables, different type of pastry, such as coconut drops, grater cakes, gizzarda, sweet potato pudding, jelly coconut water, and more. When we reach by the church, I love the energy of the different districts compete to sell the most produce, to sell who can make the most money in friendly competition. And I love the interaction with the different groups in the church. Most of all, I enjoy the visitors who come and buy the produce and the fun-filled day that entertain the entire family.
What I miss about harvest is the Sunday evening harvest service and the Monday sales where everybody come together and we have a good time. I also miss Good Friday worship. I missed the food, the snacks, the stalls, how they are decorated and all of that. The people who you have never seen in a long time, they come to harvest. I miss those things. That is all I have to say.
Well, what I miss about my harvest is the get-together with brothers and sisters. We always have a wonderful time, especially on Easter Monday, when we gather up and sell our produce and enjoy ourselves. This year, last year, this year, I miss it a lot. Miss my family who come down to enjoy our harvest with us. They cannot be here anymore until this COVID thing is over. So we are saddened by that, but hope by next year we'll all get back together again and enjoy our lives. Thank you.
What I miss most about harvest is looking forward to Easter Monday. I would be prepared from like Sunday. You know, we make our puddings and cakes, drops or greater cake, everything, you know, put together to put on our stalls. And I miss when we used to have service on like a Sunday evening, although it is changed now. You know, we just have a service in the morning during church, which is good because it gives us more time in the afternoon to do more preparation for the Monday. Yes, all in all, I miss Easter Monday, the gathering, fellowship, all the members and visitors, you know, come and partake, buy stuff and all of that. But that's most of what. And I miss Good Friday service, but I never can always picture Ali coming from Silent Hill with a cross, carrying the cross, always look forward to that. I always meet him at the gate to my home entrance and just accompanied, you know, the rest of the members to the church. So those are what I really missed on Easter weekend. Thank you.
Oh Lord, wonder if Joyce there, you know, because me a call her phone and now get through, you know. Man, the bicycle stiff me up, man. Make the whole like muscle them tired, man. Jesus.
Okay, harvest to me is very great. From I'm going to school is Bryce Calendar, and it is harvest. We have to get our harvest envelope before school close. We have to get money and put in it. So, you know, harvest to me is something great. Coming up till when I reach teenage, I start to make greater cake and drops. I miss harvest. The biggest yam when my daddy having at the farm coming to harvest. Biggest cane. Coming on now, I make special drops. White drops where people never know how to make it. And me invent it. You peel the coconut and wash it white and use white sugar to it. And then it take to the harvest that they order it from me before you come and harvest. Maybe only one doesn't reach my stall. Everybody buy it. And they're looking forward for that every year. And I tell them that I'm gonna stop now. I reach the age that must stop. Some of the young people must do it. And they still not hear me. So, if I'm abroad, I can stay there and watch
the harvest. And you know, when you get together, we have so much fun. And reaching this age, the only fun we have is our harvest and the Easter, and even when they're marching from Silent Hill Alley with the cross, that is something that really touched me. Going up to church when he fall down and they beat him, I just imagine what Jesus Christ go through for us. So it is a part of my life. Harvest is a part of my life. And when I look now to see, we can have harvest, we can have Easter Sunday service, get together that fashion to hug and greet one another. It really touched me to the core. And even watching it live, sometimes you don't enjoy it as how you would enjoy it if you was there in person, because sometimes the internet is cut off and you miss that part. But what God said to be will be. And if we have the mind to serve our church, because we know the church can run without money, to serve our church, all what we always to do, the pudding, the coconut drops, all the goodies, the big yam, and the big long cane, the bungalow cane and everything, we still have it inside of us, because his word says when the time is at hand, it will be a perilous time, sign and wonders. We never said this before. In our 60 odd years, I never experienced a time like this. But we still have more to see. And by His grace and His mercy, we're going to continue.
Yeah, man, the thing about harvest, what we like is, it's like a family reunion. That thing where you pay your classmate them or your virgin them when you and them go to school one time. You see them turn up, so you know. And then when the time maybe so you can see them a harvest time. So harvest 2 weeks, we look forward for it. And we love it. Because, you know, virgin and virgin if we meet. Classmate and classmate, schoolmate and schoolmate. Your brother, friend, your sister, them friend when they just go to school. When you come and you tell them, so, well, you see certain, one of the Beckford or one of the Williams or one of the Harriet or some. You know, sometimes you're sorry when they never come because they want to meet one another like as we say, like a family reunion. People get together, reason, eat and drink, and marry ourselves. So we look forward for it, but the next time, because of COVID 2 years now we miss. So we know so the next one, that one they go big. That one they are coming like Grand Market. So we can call out the one like Grand Market Easter. Yeah man. So look forward to see each and every one at the time. Yeah, cool.
Harvest 1996 was my first experience of harvest celebration at Bryce. I learned and then realized that Easter weekend is for Bryce. On this Saturday, the very active youth fellowship, then guided by the late Mrs. Joy Lewis, procured wood for the dinner stall, prepared, labeled, and decorated all other stalls, and sourced materials for the famous horror house. Of interest was the format of the Harvest Thanksgiving service. This was held on the afternoon of Easter Sunday, when representations of items that would be a part of the Easter Monday celebrations would be presented individually and be dedicated. Then the harvest celebration on Easter Monday was a big thing. This has continued over the years. I remember too that at Harvest Service 2013 in delivering the message, the Reverend Youthman Ray pointed to a certain section in the congregation, prophesying that someone would have a baby in 10 months. This prophecy materialized. A very memorable harvest period, I can say. Then, Harvest 2010, the late resident minister Eugene Bonner, who had been ailing, could not resist attending the Easter and Thanksgiving services, followed by the usual Easter Monday celebrations. He told respective persons that this would be his last harvest, and so it was, because 2 days later he left us. Harvest celebration on Easter Monday at Bryce has been spectacular, and each year the committee seeks to feature something new. COVID-19 has certainly caused us to miss the fun, food, and fellowship shared over many, many years. It has, however, provided opportunities that were never before thought of. And so we say, to God be the glory, as in every situation we remain rooted, resilient, responding in hope.
Hi everyone, how are you? Harvest for me meant keeping tradition alive. It meant rich culture, and it also meant family. So wherever in the world you were, just know that on Easter Monday, the place to be was Bryce United Church for harvest. Moving from stall to stall, you got a little taste of Bryce. Sweet potato pudding, gizzada, coconut drops, sugar cane, and of course jelly. Then you know that you don't cook at home that day, you purchase your food. Laughter will be everywhere. Family members and friends who you haven't seen in years would be there. So it was about meeting up, getting your favorite sweet treat, and having a very good time. I can't wait for us to have harvest again.
I am Aileen Knight, Bryce United Church. I can remember on a Easter Monday, we were just raring to go. Harvest usually start about 10 o'clock, and so persons would be gathered there. Long ago, we used to have our harvest festival in the school, where the teachers would take down their charts, and then persons would go in and organize the benches to form a stall. And then each district would take that stall. But after a while, the space in the building was too small. And so it was suggested that we move out into the open space. And it was Reverend Harriet who came up with the idea of making some stalls. So each section would have representative from the district. We will have Sawmill, Silent Hill, Coleyville, Hanson Run, Succeed, Christiana, Mandeville. And so there would be a leader on each stall. The persons from the different communities would take their items on this harvest day. On the stalls we had fruits and vegetables, pastries, greater cake, drops, gizzarda, puddings. Now, I can remember sawmill stall usually stand out. And on this stall, we had a lot of food items: renta yam, dasheen, Irish potato, yellow yam, mozilla yam. And all these came from the sawmill stall, which was led not really to do the selling, but Mr. Ernest Elliott of blessed memory. He used to have these items produced on his farm, and they would be taken to harvest. When these items came to harvest, people would buy because they would be in need and eager to get a piece of the taw or the mozilla or the renta yam, which was really good. Another thing that was on the stall of sawmill was plantain and even plantain suckers. I can remember one year I bought some plantain suckers, and even now at the back I have a few plantains, and from time to time I can get my plantain. Mr. Ernest also noticed that I bought some suckers, and he told me that he could give me some suckers, and I went for them, and thank God I planted it. So, Master Ernest of blessed memory. Another thing that was on the stall, plentiful, was jelly coconut. And this came from Auntie Mama's son, who lives somewhere in St. Thomas and has a farm. Now, everybody would normally get a jelly coconut to eat on that day. And they were really, really good. Another stall, we could find things on the different stalls like the greater cake and so on. Now on the children's stall, we usually have fruits and vegetables. We also had cake, and we had sweets and toys. And children who come to the harvest would try to get their things on that stall. We also had ice cream, which is always a very big thing on that harvest day. The young people, they had their drinks and other toys and games. On the young adult stall, you would always be able to get your jerk chicken, your festival, your jerk pork, and fries, so you could have a meal. Another stall that was popular one year, I saw where Mr. Ivan South, he made some furniture, and persons looked at them, some persons bought. He also had some artwork, and they were sold off on that day. On the other stall, there's another stall that is very popular. We had like the turn corn meal, roast yam, bammies, fritters, jerk chicken. That was really, really good, and persons would enjoy the meals that were prepared. Another stall that you couldn't miss when you come to harvest at Bryce was the Manish water. Where they have that Manish water. Manish water was out of the world at Bryce. And anywhere you are, and you would always remember that the Manish water was also very, very good. You had to come and sample. Now, on Harvest Day, we have persons coming all the way from Mandeville and Kingston, and even those persons who are abroad, they would plan their holidays around that Easter, that Harvest Day, so that they can come to Bryce and to enjoy a fun-filled day with their families and friends. I can remember, and Mrs. Elliott, Elaine Elliott, coming, and each time she comes, she makes sure that she's there to enjoy the Harvest Festival with us. A great feature for the children was always the bounce about, the face painting, and the different go-kart and the different games. While others, the adults, were enjoying themselves differently, they had their fun. One year, I can remember, Everard Ali, he made a horror house. And I tell you, the children, they really had fun in that horror house. Now, a special feature for that day is always the broadcasting. We set up our own mics and so on, and we would have somebody like Everard. He was always that person there, talking on the mic, encouraging people to buy, to come out and buy, and to take back as much product as they can buy. The dinner stall was always number one. You would get your tickets for the dinner beforehand, or even if you didn't get it beforehand, you could always come by and get your dinner. Very sumptuous meal, rice and peas and chicken, curry goat, fried fish, fried festival, and also your roast pork that would be on the menu. So those are some of the features that we always have when we have our Harvest Festival at Bryce. Now, from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock, we had this harvest sale, but in the evening, like at 6 o'clock, it would begin with we would have the Festival of Talents. So when some persons would go home while others would be there, we just go into the church. We have a big concert, which was always a hit. Persons would render items, they would perform skits and drama, and they would sing, which was very, very good. So this year, we haven't had, last year we didn't have our regular harvest, and this year we still did not have it. But we can still look back and enjoy and reminisce on all the wonderful happenings of our Harvest Festival at Bryce United Church. It's always good to gather. You meet your friends, you have great fun, and just enjoy the day. So, by God's grace, we are hoping and trusting that as time goes by, we will be able to gather on the Bryce grounds for another festival. Thank you.
Memories of harvest, Bryce harvest, great memories. Manish water. You know, the origin of Manish water was It was first thought of by my mother, Lillian Litz. Cooking manish water and the proceeds from selling it was her gift to harvest. And when she could no longer, as a matter of fact, before she could no longer manage, she recruited Miss Lynn to help her. Women's Fellowship and the minister's wife usually run the harvest dinner. First time, chicken was cut up on Holy Thursday or was handed out to members of the Women's Fellowship. They would take it home, fry the chicken, and take it back. But when harvest progressed, we had to get a committee, a very large one at first, maybe over 15 people, and we delegated jobs. But Miss Jenny is a standout for rice and peas. By 10 o'clock you could get 3 pots of rice and peas. How Miss Jenny did it, I don't know. Shredding of cabbage is the finest cabbage you ever see. Cooking of the curry goat was Miss Lynn and myself. And the sales of the manish water was my responsibility. People came from here, there, and everywhere just to eat and to drink the manish water. Brother Lewis, Vernon Lewis of blessed memory, would always come. Miss Lynn, the soup not ready yet. All right, let me taste it now. And he would call his friends and buy everybody manish water. He never left his container to carry home manish water so he could have it the next day. Another impressive part of harvest is the sawmill stall. Don't care how the other communities tried to beat sawmill, they couldn't. Because they had such a vast variety. Mountains of coconut, some big Mozilla yam, dark night St. Vincent, and at the time when white yam was available, Miss Valerie or Miss Haya would have their special people who they knew always wanted. So they would take out theirs before they start selling. Recently, we had corn, boiled corn. That was one of the greats for harvest. Last year we missed it so much that we had to call in our orders. And I kept going back. I even have greater corn in my freezer now, can make corn dumpling from what was planned for harvest. We miss it, yes, but God knows. All we can do is make our contribution, live in the hope that when COVID is over, we are going to have great, grand, rejoicing harvest where we can meet and greet our friends, not social distancing, but again to the point where we usually hug and greet one another. We miss these for harvest, but we need to cope and to go by the guidelines. God bless you, those who are watching this presentation. I hope that it will recollect some of the things. First time potato pudding when Miss Tiny used to make, my God. Fritters when Miss fritters made by Miss Ingram grandmother. You don't wait for them. you place your order long before they come from over line of parish. Because if you wait for them to come, you're going to get count out. Miss Verlin makes nice pudding, but they could never reach Miss Tiny pudding. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day tomorrow, whether you're in lockdown or you have the opportunity to go to any service or anything. Please be careful and stay safe. God bless again.
Man, it look like Joyce not even there. No. Joyce! Woo! Joyce! Oh Jesus, he look like she not. What kuya? He left the grill up, man. You know how much time me tell her that she must do that? Because she don't know who could have walked into the place, you know, man. This must be about the fourth time me come here and Joyce left the place open. You know, yesterday I kidnapped how much woman bought the place and him just left grill up, man, gone. How much time I must tell this woman? Make a call in, make a call in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Hello? Hello? Jesus. Jai still not answer your phone, you know. Massa. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, you pick up me upper yard. Where you there? Round a bush. But you left the grill up again, man. You left the grill open. Anybody could have walked come in, you know. I check, me can't check you to find out if, like, how no harvest now, kid. What you plan for do for Easter month? Yes, man, me know say it's curfew. Me know it's curfew. But Tammy can't go nowhere, so I was coming to look for you. Oh, you never expect me for today, it's curfew too? Yes, me know, but I hide me, I hide go look for you, man. I has to hide to come look for you because a long time me not see you. You call me have your way, man, and the curfew make me can't see you. Me I forget one of them go phone them when we can't see one another, you know, because I have to be using this one when they got banger. Can't see you. Yes. Oh no, harvest now go keep me because of the curfew. Aye, but you know, man, I miss it, you know. Why? Just I can't do without the cooking, man. Right here now, me know so you done season up for tomorrow. Yes, man. You done season up, man, and yes, the old pork there and the yes, the manish water. You want Miss Lynn and put on the manish water there now, man. See ya, Papa Jesus. And the second year now, you know. Me no lobby, man. Me no lobby, but it better. You know, me understand what the government are doing, you know. So we must stay in, so we know, boy, I wouldn't want to lose you before me married to you, you know, Joyce. So that's why we better me stay home, man. In the curfew. Yes, but why you know? Once upon a time, last year we no had no harvest. Same thing come catch me again, and I was prepared. I was prepared, man. Because me said this time you know me that kill the hog. Yes, and we not get some good jerk pork and manish water and something over church, you know. But see, they know we not no harvest now go on. You have, guess what now? You know what do? I think everybody could have saved up little money when they made a go give to harvest, you know, and go spend. Put now an envelope and send go over church. Yes, man. Think we could have do that? Because like you say, no, we don't have, we know. Yes, Joyce, I think that would be a good idea. Yes, so the same amount of money where you that take now by the couple pound of pork for your dinner. You know, could have put in a clean envelope, man. Members, they are not church, we are giving the thing to you know. And God, we are giving, God no want money. No, Joyce, God no want no money, man. God don't have no use to feel money. But when the church get it now, the church now are going to spend it to give to the people them who is in need. So God use up the money, you know. For God no hand to spend money like how we would have spent it, man. Yes. Take your door. You know the credit so run out, you know. Before the credit done, let me tell you what I want to tell you, say. Because I don't want the credit done. Easter Monday, we don't have, yes, they could start them. Me know it there by your mind, Joyce, but what we are going to do again? We don't have no choice, we don't have no choice. We can't go over the police will lock we up. You want to see if we age up in a prison or in a lock up at we age, man, me could even climb up 9 steps, much less figure go a court. But me a curfew a go and me there harvest. Anyway, talking this and talking that, yes. Now Jesus, Joyce the woman pan the phone and tell me say, talk, let me talk to you, no woman. The woman pan the phone and tell me say me only have 1 minute left. So me have to talk up quick before the woman take back her talking about time. Yes. So me don't know. A check Tuesday me have to go see you, you know, for me don't have no time I wait at curfew time me thief out the clip bicycle and ride, come check you. So I don't want police take me off of the road when me a ride go back. So what me a go do? Here you know, me a go. Joyce, me say top friend about the harvest, God mother ready. Put your money in our envelope. Put no envelope, man. The money where you going to use, buy me something, put no envelope and send go to church. Yes, man. See, they know the credit I go cut off. The credit I go cut off. Joyce, let me tell you what I go do. Me I go lock up the door. Me I go push up the door and push up the grill so that nobody can come in and nobody knows you there. But me case come man, can you leave the place open? Alright. I me no, so I love you, yeah. Ah, Tio, me know. Me know. Alright, I will come check you. Tuesday, I come check you when the curfew done. Yes, when the curfew done, Tuesday, me come check you, man. No, faithful, promise make full glad. No, me I go come, man. Me I go come. Now where you here? Me I go come check you. The credit done. I don't like the woman upon the credit, you know. Fast see, they know that I don't think 1 minute gone and the woman cut off his thing. The woman they don't have no manners, you know. Better one young somebody. They don't have no respect for old people when old people attack. They just cut off his thing and go. Sure. Me can't bother you no man. My Jesus. Lock up that place you have good before. Them boy they find out say hope you know. Joyce no fi do them thing ya man. Joyce no fi do them thing ya. Left the place all up man.